station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Sharing the love, spreading the light in real time. Friday night love stream.
Very happy to have a guy we instantly resonated with. Unbiased and on the fence. I'm talking about Shane C. Robinson. And his purpose is to rise above the worldviews that are designed to separate us so we can unite as one.
Sometimes you have to sort of take a step back, and I think Unbiased and on the Fence is a really, really good title for your show, because you are in the central point when you're unbiased and on the fence. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you're indecisive. It means you are taking the central point and you're seeing the multiple perspectives.
Unbiased and on the Fence.
If you haven't checked Unbiased on the Fence, go and check his channel out. You might like it.
This is Dan Holfeld from Talk is Cheap, and you're listening to Unbiased and on the Fence with Shane Robinson.
If this much sincerity enters your life, come to this much. What I know, I know. What I do not know, I do not know. I don't believe anything, I don't disbelieve anything. I'm willing to look at everything. You will become a sensible human being.
Have you checked out our website?
Visit us on the web at uotf.net. You're listening to The Love Stream.
All around the world in real time.
This is Shane with Unbiased and On the Fence. You're listening to the Friday Night Love Stream.
Your calls, your stories, on air. You're listening to the Love Stream.
Sharing the love and spreading the light all around the world. This is Unbiased and On the Fence.
Unbiased and on the fence.
Welcome to the Friday Night Love Stream with special guest Jean. That's going to be doing tarot readings. How's it going, Jean?
Great, Shane. Nice to see everybody.
Awesome. And Gabby. That's my daughter, number 2. So I had Gabby come on with us because she's been doing tarot lately and stuff, and I thought it'd be cool while we're waiting for callers to call in to just do a live reading with my daughter or whatever. So I'm going to keep an eye on the chat or whatever, but you guys can call in. The phone lines are open. Phone lines are in the description. Matter of fact, I'll go into the call-in screen.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Sharing.
Okay, sorry about that. There's the numbers on the screen. They're also down in the chat box, or you can join from the website, which is also in the description. So, Jean, it's so wonderful to have you here to do this. We did this before, but now we're going to be able to actually show the cards. So for those who's watching, what deck are you going to be using today? It's called the Gilded Tarot?
I'm going to yes, it's the Gilded Tarot, yes. And it's really beautiful. This is the outside of all the cards. Mm-hmm. And this is just like an example of one of the cards. It's just very, very colorful, very just
we might need to back it up just a little bit for it to focus.
Oh.
We'll find a good spot so that when you're showing them. Somewhere.
Yeah, unfortunately the webcam I have is not on autofocus. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. We'll make it work. Yeah, we can see it pretty good. It's just a little bit blurry, but people can actually look it up. I did that when I was watching the other show that you did. I was able to just look up the card number and see the picture after the fact. But we wanted to do it live at the same time, that way. Make it easier. Awesome. So, Gabby, your question is about just career stuff, right?
I wanted to ask if there's any advice you can get intuitively about a career change or anything in the future concerning career.
Do you have a deck of your own, Gabby?
I do. I use the Rider-Waite Tarot.
Oh, great. Great. And it's good, but when you do it yourself, what I find is you kind of doubt yourself. You're like, is that really true?
Definitely, especially if it's about yourself or someone you know.
Right. So you just need some validation, right?
Right.
Well, that's good. That's good. And do you get intuitive guidance? Or do you kind of like have like a gut feeling? You kind of just feel like your gut. You get more feelings and things like that, more than just messages.
I receive a lot of messages through dreams and also a sense of just knowing.
Ah,
Yes.
beautiful. That's great. That's great. Okay, so this one is called The Star. Can you tell me if I need to get closer or farther?
No, that's probably as good as it's going to get right there. That's pretty good. Okay, so that's card 17, it looks like.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty clear if you could see that.
Right, yeah.
And the star is the card of hopes. It brings a sense of optimism and tells to have faith, safe in knowledge that better times are ahead of us. So if you're in a place where you're not really happy, saying to have faith that better times are ahead, you know. The star card can bring healing after illness. Its beautiful aspect means that it always welcomes, its beautiful aspect means it's always a welcome sight in any situation. It provides faith and tells us to have belief in ourselves. Our plan shows promise, success, and is attainable by the light of the star. That's beautiful.
That is.
So keep your whatever you're wishing for, whatever you're hoping for, whatever your desires are, keep your focus on that because it's obtainable and the star is bright and hopeful. That's great. It didn't really say specifically.
I almost feel like it's almost like it's saying to just kind of chill out and wait and see what happens, and rather than kind of to set your heart on where you want to be, but then wait for the door to open, I guess, you know, rather than you need to make a move right away. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. It's like just keep your focus where you want to go, and then, you know, not really, I don't know. What do you feel about it?
Trust that it'll happen in the divine timing.
Yeah. I would say wait for opportunities, but that's really always kind of the case. Because even with, you know, any time you do these tarot readings and stuff like that, I always tell people it should resonate with you and like confirm, you know, it should be more of a confirming of what you're already kind of resonating with on the inside. Like that should always be your first, you know, going intuitively within, and then things should confirm that, because sometimes things don't resonate with people. But with this particular one, it almost seems open at this point, you know, rather than sort of a definite way to go. What are you feeling with it?
Yeah, I mean, I have been doing a lot of journaling with manifestation, so I'll probably just stick with that and see if anything comes up.
I always think that, like, keeping your eyes peeled for anything, you know, instead of feeling like you're stuck anywhere. But if you kind of know what you want to do, something comes up, then you know, oh, maybe this is it. You know?
Yep, look for the signs and synchronicities, I guess.
Yeah. Which is awesome, because she sends me stuff from time to time. I shared the one that you sent from your higher self that you had gotten. You know, it was a little sign. She makes signs for a living, but it was like visualize your higher self. It was a little sign she had to make, but it kind of went with what was going on. So she notices the synchronicities too, you know, beyond just the repeating numbers on the clock and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's awesome. Awesome. Let me check and see if we got anybody calling in yet. Let me switch to the call-in screen. Okay. Nope. Nobody's here. Anybody want to call in? You can. The phone lines are. Realize your higher self. It was a little sign she had to make, but there we go. Got too many things up.
Are you able to read the chat?
Yeah, the chat. Nobody's calling in, but in the chat. Yeah, and if you guys just want a card, you don't really want to call in? Yeah, or just ask in the chat.
I have a fun riddle if people want to try and crack the riddle.
Yeah, let's do it.
What has to be broken before you can use it? And I would like to give away like a free reading if somebody wants to, not on this question, but on another question. If somebody wants a free reading, they can try and answer the riddle, and I'll give them a free 1 hour reading.
I will give an alternate answer to the actual probable answer, because a glow stick. But anyway,
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I'll accept it. There's an answer here. That's not the answer they have, but
I figured
that's
it
a really
wasn't.
good one.
But coming up on Halloween, it's just fitting, another little synchronicity. So, all right. So thank you so much for coming on, Gabbo.
Thank you so much for the reading. Nice meeting you.
Oh, you're welcome. Nice meeting you too. And let's switch readings sometime.
Definitely.
Let's do a real one.
That'd be awesome.
You want to go grab your deck?
You can
I'm
practice
just
all day. No pressure.
Maybe later.
Oh, that was fun. My pendulum is on fire tonight.
Mic isn't hot. There we go. Okay. Sorry, my mic wasn't hot until just now. Okay. So with current events, you want to pull a card while we're waiting? We had the one.
Sure.
I love that one you pulled. The Justice card. I love that so much. Is that what it was? It was the Justice card, right? All right.
Yes.
For as what to
Yes.
expect for the rest of the year or whatever. So that was really cool.
So this week. Ooh, wow.
Ooh.
Too many cards just flew out. Hang on one second.
Okay.
Which, how current do you want to be?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Linda wants a card. Let's pull a card for Linda. I need some guidance about my money and living situation. That's a good one. Let's do that for Linda.
Okay. So the last time the cards were telling me which one to pick out. So let's see if I can pick up on that, because that was really good. Okay, one did kick out for Linda. And it's a Two of Swords. It seems like she is between decisions, has two ways to go. But let's just see what the Two of Swords. And just as a reminder for everybody, I'm new, but doesn't mean my ability is new. It just means my knowledge of what the cards mean is new.
Right.
so I have to look up what the Two of Swords means. And it does take me a minute here.
No rush at all.
Two of Swords symbolizes stalemate situation, in one in which a deadlock exists. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Linda. That's a tough place to be. It just seemed like you were between a rock and a hard place when I pulled the card.
Mm-hmm.
You may feel that you need to make a decision, yet you're unable to move in one way or another due to feelings of confusion, obviously. We do not see the woman's hand, so it can be assumed that she is free to remove the blindfold herself, but inertia prevents her from doing so. You need to look at a situation logically and try a new approach to break the deadlock. There's always something that can be done. In the eyes of the universe, no decision is still a decision, so it's far better to take an active part in your destiny. So even one small step in a direction, and I've heard it said before that even if you take a step in the wrong direction, you'll know right away, or something will come up, and show you that it was the wrong direction, and it'll push you into the right direction. So any decision, any small step would be the right step. Don't worry if it's right or wrong, because you'll know soon enough and be able to be redirected if that wasn't the correct path.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's really a kind of an out of harmony feeling, isn't it? I love that. It's cool.
Yeah, just the indecision between a rock and a hard place, confusion, and just sometimes it's saying to take a look at it logically, but also just a different perspective,
Mm-hmm.
Try and rise above and look down on it. Try and imagine if it was your friend in that situation. Just try and look at it in a different perspective.
That's always helpful. Yeah, that's the one I always use from.
I don't know if that helps.
Whenever you get
Helps, Linda.
kind of cut off in traffic or something, it's like you can totally be triggered by it, or you can think, oh my gosh, what if they're on the way to the hospital or something like that. So it's kind of
right.
Getting out of your own thing and realizing that you have no idea what's kind of going on in that other person's life at that moment,
Exactly. So Shane, if you're just dying to know what needs to be broken before you can use it, do you want to know what the answer is?
Yeah, I didn't see
It's
anybody
an egg.
answered. I was just wondering, what did you say?
It's an egg.
Oh, yeah, somebody did get that. Oh, Craig. I didn't even realize it. Yep, you got it. It's an egg. Yep. Okay, so it looks like Desert and Craig got it. Okay, Jenna would like a card. Jenna, did you have a specific question? I was wondering what would happen with my connection with Caleb. I'm a Virgo. He's a Libra. Okay, I think Jenna has it's kind of a relationship question. Her and Caleb.
Okay. There's one that kicked out right away, but I just want to. Okay, Jenna has 2 cards. Now, the first one that came out was early.
Mm-hmm.
So it is actually the Devil card, which I'm not familiar with. It usually doesn't come up too much if this is a relationship. And then the second card that she got was a 6 of Pentacles. So let's curiously figure out what that means. The Devil's presence quite often appears in a situation when a situation is dragging you down and feeling helpless to change it. It can show a form of enslavement, whether to an ideal or an addiction, or even manipulative or controlling relationship. Overindulgence tends to result in upset, greed, lust, or can become self-destructive. Overspending is a typical example. However, the important message is that it is self-enslavement. By taking control of this behavior, we are released from it, and we are free to walk away. It can also carry an aspect of scarcity, such as secrecy, such as secret plans being made either by yourself or others around you. The surrounding cards would indicate. Let's not forget that prior to being symbolized as an evil figure in religion, the devil was previously identified as the pagan god Pan. I think that.
Interesting.
So secrecy, overindulgence, self-destructive, manipulative or controlling relationship, enslavement, but it says that it's self-enslavement. Right. By taking control of the behavior, we're able to release it and are free to walk away. Now, the second one was 6 of Pentacles, so maybe this represents a little bit more about what the overindulgence may be. Let's take a look at it. 6 of Pentacles. And Jenna, thank you for giving me the opportunity to maybe deal with a situation that may be a little, tender or difficult for you. The Six of Pentacles shows a successful material gains and being in a position that allows you to share with others. Business ventures should be paying off, or perhaps pay increase is coming in your direction. It's important that once the work is done, rewards are enjoyed. So it looks like that on one hand, you may have some secrecy, some manipulation, some control going on. And in another respect, it looks like you have a lot of good fortune, a lot of reminder to enjoy the efforts of your labors. I'm not sure if that rings a bell to you, but you may be in both situations.
Yeah. See if that resonates with you, Jenna. Because I was thinking, the first one, it's kind of all about our own limitations. The devil card or whatever. It could be her own limitations about something that she's putting on the situation. It sounds like it, not necessarily you're enslaved by someone else, but you're enslaved by your own ideas about something possibly. Is that kind of how it's framed? That it could be our own,
yes.
Which is liberating when you realize you free yourself in that situation. It's thought patterns or whatever the limitation is, I guess, that because we all have things like that,
Right.
Let's see here. Oh, Linda says, yes, you're spot on. Between a rock and a hard place. Taking a small step, taking an active part in my destiny, remove the blindfold. Resonates. That's perfect. And that's the previous reading you did for Linda.
Great. I'm so happy, Linda. I'm glad. And thank you very much for the feedback. That's
real helpful.
Helps me to improve. Yeah. I'm going to grab a tissue real quick.
No problem. Let's see. Is this even picking up the... Okay, guys. I do have the phone lines open still, so if anybody would like to call in so you can have live feedback, that would be awesome.
Yay!
That would be cool.
So let me see. There was something I was going to chat with you about, and I forgot already. That's why I wanted to get those riddles. Yeah, the weather's been absolutely beautiful here. I heard there was another hurricane that came through, and I don't know if there's anybody out in Colorado where there's fires. There's fires in the U.S. It seems like it's continuous. I don't know if anybody is near there, but I heard that they had to close some sort of a park or something recently. I just saw. I try not to obviously look at the news too much, but I try and be, aware of what's going on around us a little bit. It's hard to do one without the other.
I totally get it. Yeah, that's totally true. Yeah, that's why I almost depend on, I just kind of see what seems to be trending on the people I watch on YouTube before. Because if something's that big, then it'll end up spilling over, But yeah, whenever it comes to weather, or I do have the weather app, so I'll get things about fires or evacuations or hurricanes and things like that. On my weather app on my phone. But yeah, I don't typically watch anything either.
Yeah. I saw the new YouTube video from Magenta Pixie today, and they had a very good panel on. It was really amazing.
Awesome.
I enjoyed that. If anybody, with Laura Eisenhower and a couple of other people, it was really amazing. It was a little long, but it was really good. And there's another gentleman. I know you're not on Facebook too much, but I don't know if some of your watchers are on Facebook. There is a man, his name is Jody, and he has an outdoor area, and he does little 30-second videos. He put rocks in his yard to mimic the solar system. And the Seven Sisters and all these different astral, formations that
Yeah.
are in the sky. He made them in his yard. And then he also does like dowsing, and the dowsing rods, like they have energy and stuff. Like
Right.
it's just really fascinating.
Wow. What's his channel
I'm
name?
like,
Or
I
is he's on Facebook or on YouTube?
I think it's both, but his first name is Jody, and I can't remember what his um, whole name is. I
Yeah,
can
maybe
try
one of our
that.
moderators could drop a link in there.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
but it's fascinating to watch because it's yeah, it's just a couple seconds of videos, and I just thought it was really unique and creative. Yeah. His name is Jody Albert Maas, Maas,
Mm.
and I don't know if he's on YouTube, but he does pendulums as well as the dowsing rods. And, he gives you little tidbits. And I just learned this week, he said that the pendulum, I know that the energy moves the pendulum, you ask it a question, it moves. And he said that it's important to remember that it's a tool, that it's not actually the pendulum giving you the answer, that the small, minute, uh, movement comes from me, comes from the person using the pendulum. So it comes from my higher self
Yeah.
and comes through me, moves my hand, and actually moves the pendulum. I never knew that. And I don't know what moved the pendulum. I thought energy around it, but he said that the energy actually comes from us. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, because it's actually like the cells of your body that make up you, harmonize to move in the way it needs to move. You know what I mean? Because every cell, everything is conscious and connected to the divine. So, it's like it has the answers even if you don't. I mean, you do, but we have those filters, That's why it's easier for us to do readings and stuff on a complete stranger than ourselves or someone we know their complete history, because then your own filters come in. You know too much, so you don't know what am I picking up and what is my own ideas. But this is what's so helpful about this. When people come on here, they ask a question you don't know anything about, these people. So it's perfect, because if something comes through really strong, hey, that's not coming from my left brain logical thinking trying to figure things out. It just came through. That's why we work better together like this. Everyone with their gifts and everything. Let me see if.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw your question, Jennifer, but it disappeared on me. I can't remember what it was now. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if you're in the armed forces, you spirit. I don't know. That was Craig's riddle. Okay.
They're doing riddles too. I have another one.
You do? Let's hear another one.
Okay, what month of the year has 28 days?
February. But I know that's not the answer. That's too easy.
It's not wrong. So let's see if anybody else gets it. I know we have to wait because there's a little delay. But all right, if you want me to just give it to you, I can give it to you. But I don't know if they want to play. So you'll have to let me know.
Yeah, we'll just give it a second here. Give people time to think about it. Jennifer, if you have a question or you want a card, ask. And you shall receive. Okay, let me see. And if I missed you guys, oh, okay, no, we did Jenna. We did Linda. Anybody else want a card? Let me make sure nobody's called in here. Okay. So you guys can definitely call in and have some live interaction if you want when she pulls the card. And that would actually be ideal because then you can have some interaction. She can kind of tell you what she's feeling. And with that instant feedback, she'll know if she's, picking up what she's picking up and everything. I like it when it's more live like that. So if anybody's brave enough to call in. Okay. So in the meantime.
Can you tell me about your hat?
What's that?
Tell me about your hat.
Oh, synchronicity.
Your synchronicity.
Yeah, I actually got this from
That's cool.
the same place the 333 and the 1111 hat came from. And that's the Everyday Masters case from Everyday Masters that does the reconnection. So yeah, it's just, and it's a great conversation starter too. Synchronicity, what's that? This guy at the auto parts store the other day, I had my 1111 hat on. He's like, "What's the 1111 mean?" It's like, I see it all the time. My family sees it all the time. I'm like, it's just about, signposts letting you know you're on the right track. And, I just kind of left it kind of open-ended like that. Just something encouraging because, that's one of the things. Once you realize, like, everybody has their own, like, team working with them, you don't have to feel like you're sort of having to, get through to somebody or anything. You're like, you realize, it's actually pretty liberating. You know what I mean? So that you're more in alignment with the universe if you just kind of allow yourself to be a conduit rather than trying to control anything too much, because everybody's got their whole crew, you know what I mean? And you don't realize that until you experience your own, I guess, your own divine connection, if you will, Okay. So,
and we all do.
Yeah.
And they're here and they're closer than ever.
And they love us more than we can ever imagine.
Yes, very much so.
Okay, Stellar Sarah, I would love a card regarding my career. Let's see what comes up for Sarah.
Okay, this is for Sarah. It's being choosy. It's waiting. That's good. Here it is. Oh, Six of Swords. Sounds like you're carrying, from what I can recall, you're carrying a lot of experience with you, and that you're headed to the right direction. So let's open it up and see what it says. There's Six of Swords. The meaning of the Six of Swords is quite literal, moving out of stormy waters into calmer ones. If you have experienced difficult times, this card assures you that matters will improve and harmony will once more be restored. As the Six of Swords in the boat demonstrate, our experiences are part of us and travel with us as a reminder of life lessons we've encountered. This card can also represent a physical journey, usually over long water. But so this one shows that you carry your experiences with you, the lessons that you've learned, you're carrying them with you, but you're heading towards calmer water and you're heading towards the light, and that better times, matters will improve and harmony will once more be restored. And I think this is true for all of us, but Sarah's pointing it out for all of us, and it may not just be for our job or our career, but just that, I really do honestly believe that, harmony will be restored and it's not far away. I
totally agree.
We had a group text with my family, and we're talking about canceling Thanksgiving, and they just don't want to get everybody together. And I said, you know what, this is all going to be over real soon. I said, then we'll just have one big party for all the holidays. I said, don't worry about it. And I truly believe
Yeah.
that it's just going to really be over real soon. So
Yeah, me too.
harmony's going to be restored, and we just have to keep our spirits high. But yeah, it looks like that Sarah has a lot of lessons and experience that she can carry with her, which is very valuable in career aspect as well. But thanks, Sarah. Let me know if that resonates with you.
I tell you what, we got a caller that's going to join us. Let's see who's here. 314, my old hometown, St. Louis. Who's there with us?
It's Kate. How are you?
Hey, Kate, how's it going?
Is it
Hey,
Mrs.
I'm
Wright?
good. Hi, Jean.
Is it Mrs. Wright?
Yeah.
I thought I would go ahead and be brave and call in since I ditched you the other week. So.
This is awesome.
Thank you.
I was car shopping. I got stuck.
And now
Kate,
we're card
you're the
shopping,
best.
right?
Yes, car shopping.
Anything specific?
So I don't have any specific questions.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Nope. Just
Pretty much
whatever.
open-ended.
Yes, that's great. Thank you. So I just want to tell everybody, so I don't leave you hanging. What month of the year has 28 days? The answer is all of them.
Yeah, they're right. Yeah, they all have 28 days. Gosh.
Okay, so Mrs. Wright. Okay, it came right out for you. Ooh, King of Pentacles.
Awesome.
Is there somebody you want to tell us about there, Kate? No, I'm kidding. Okay, let's see what the King of Pentacles. It doesn't always represent a male, but I like to think of it that way. Okay, I got to go to Kings. 1 second. And the face cards are a little longer in description. King of Pentacles is not afraid of hard work and will see a task through to completion. His patience will often help him in his acquisitions. Where the King of Wands would lose interest and pursue another deal, the King of Pentacles will sit it out, knowing that in the end he will get what he wants. He is usually generous but never stupid with his money. His material possessions are carefully purchased and cared for, and he does not waste nor does he buy hastily. Due to the earth element, these kings are often found in property and or land development. As a property or land owner and financiers in accountancy or stockbrokers. They are also found as farmers, builders, or tradesmen, all practical, money-conscious, hardworking, salt-of-the-earth types. So, Kate, I'm not sure. Did I read your card before? Did this come out for you before?
No, I can't remember what card it was. It was.
Okay.
Oh, it
I think
it was a Hierophant. Yeah, it was a Hierophant last time.
Ah, okay. So intuitively, this could either be a man or it could be you. It could be your masculine aspect of your, smart decisions about money, your material possessions carefully purchased, not wasted. That you are in accountancy or stockbrokers and that you're a tradesman, hardworking, salt of the earth type. Like this could be describing you in general or some aspects of you. Or it could be, I'm not really getting, even though I teased you a little bit and said, is there a man in your life? I'm not, I think it's the attributes of the king that I'm picking up for you. Does that make any sense?
Maybe it sounds more like Frank, not me. I'm not I'm not very particular with money, so it sounds more like my other half, probably.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, then that's a man in your life that has those attributes. Cool.
Indeed, that would be him. I wish that was me, but not exactly. Interesting.
Let's see. I did want to tell you, Stellar Sarah said that it was beautiful and it resonated, and she does have a lot of experience that she carries with her. So that was all true. That's amazing. That's very cool.
That's good. Great, Stellar Sarah.
So that was awesome. Anything else for Kate's reading?
Kate, do you have a yes or no question?
No, I don't. I just wanted to have a card pulled and say hello.
Awesome, Kate.
That's good. It works for me.
No, that was awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much
All right, you
for
guys
calling
have a good
in.
night.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. That's awesome. So it's like, I don't know. It's so how long did it take you to like just tap in to doing this, Gene? I mean, like, because you've always been intuitive, right? So is it like this is just pairing up with something you've already done anyway that's, I don't know, sort of just an aid or a tool to use along with what you've already sort of gotten, right? So even within, like, it sort of can be a confirmation to what you're receiving even, right? Intuitively?
It allows me to get out of my own way. It presents, like the card comes out, and so I'm not choosing the card, so I'm not making decisions with my ego mind. I'm allowing my intuition or my imagination to come through the cards, and I'm allowing that the card will speak to me, and using my imagination, and your imagination is the gateway to your higher self.
Right.
And that's the way that most intuition comes through and speaks to us. I am trained in shamanic healing, and I did have a 2-year course, and I am trained in Reiki. So with those types of training, I, was able to tap in and to reach my higher self and to allow it to come through. And it's very easy for us to stand in our own way. What's difficult is to step aside and allow your creativity or your imagination to flow. And I just posted something on Facebook this week. There was a woman who was teaching like writing, creative writing and techniques and things like that. And it was really amazing, some of the lessons that she was talking about, and reminding us that our intuition and our higher self does speak to us through our imagination. And she had a little exercise on there where you would, pick a card or something, and they would say, make up a story about, this animal or this card or whatever. And you would make up the story, and it would actually be factual and accurate, because your ego mind steps aside saying, oh, you're only using your imagination, and it allows the message to come through. I thought it was really good. It was a lot of really good tips in there. And
That's really awesome, because the more I realize that there's no such thing as random. I was watching this lecture on free will, and he had everybody like just randomly think of a movie. It's like, just think of a movie. It's like, you know, whatever you think of, it's like, where did that movie come from? I mean, out of all the movies you've ever seen, was it typically it won't be like the most recent one or your favorite one. It's usually like just one that you're like, why did that pop in my head? You know, whether it's a movie or song or whatever. So you can sort of do this and you realize that what gave you those choices? Maybe you had 3 songs pop in your head, but why those 3, you know? And it's, the more you realize that it's no accident and there's no randomness, then you realize like, okay, so I was given those 3 songs. Why was I given those 3 songs or movies or whatever? And then you can begin to look deeper into that, because this is what it sounds like you're tapping into. When you look at this picture and you're like, let's just come up with a story. And then it's your imagination, but that's where everything's created, right? Even if it's a chair you're going to design, you see it in your mind first and then you create it, you know? So you can't say imagination isn't anything, because anything that's created or ever has been created all started with the imagination, right? It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's like,
absolutely. And I get strong nudges, and if I do get a message for somebody, I have to actually give them the message. Like, it'll be like tapping me and bugging me, or keep thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I got it, you know. So I'm getting a little more, and the more you thank it, and the more you acknowledge it, and the more you say thank you for the gift, or thank you for the message, or I hear you, or see the 1111, I usually kiss my finger and wave at the 1111 when I see it or something, or thank you, you know, is the more you acknowledge it, the more that comes in. And I just find that fascinating.
Totally. Yeah, and even with me, I was like, the more I looked for the synchronicities to sort of disprove it was even happening, the more you see there's just a constant flow, a constant stream of magical things happening that we are just constantly missing, because we're in our head usually about things, you know. But it's always there. It's like the universe is always talking to us, but we just get distracted by everything, you know.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, we are powerful beings. We need to unlearn the things that we've learned, and go back to childhood, you know, play, paint, be creative.
Gardening and everything. Sarah's asking, what book is Jean reading from? It's the book. It's the card book that came with the deck or something. Or? It's
not. The deck does not come with a book with a book with it. This is somebody else. This is not the author of the deck. It's somebody else who wrote a handbook that goes with the deck. I mean, that she wrote a handbook regarding the deck, but she didn't develop or create the deck. So when I bought the deck, it was by itself. And when then I bought the book, because I looked for the book online, and I thought they may have just come separately, but I realized that the person who wrote the book is not the person who wrote the cards, but it's the book on the cards.
That just that particular deck, the Gilded Tarot deck, or is it
this book is only for this deck?
Oh
yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty thick book. How many cards are in that
You
deck?
Think? I don't. You know what? I don't know. I don't know how many. I think there's like 100 and something decks. Okay. I mean, 100 and something cards. In the front, I'm sure it tells you how many. But she just describes how to do readings, and then she goes into the meanings, and then she goes into the spreads. There is another. There's like a little cheat sheet that I printed off of the computer, but I don't find that it gives enough. I'm not sure that the description in the book that I bought seems to be have enough in it that you can say, you know, it has this, this, and this, but this one is really what's sticking out to me. You know what I mean? Where this one, it only gives you 1 or 2, and then there's not really anywhere else you can go. But there's another book that I really love. It's Justine Alisi, and she is amazing. And this is the rebirth of the Oracle Tarot for the modern world. And she has a system of reading tarot, more like archetypes, and like if she would read somebody, she would decide whether they were a king or a queen of a certain suit and then move from there. And with this one, it's always, always, always when you have a Six of Pentacles and a Two of Swords, it means this. Like she has like an exact thing, an exact way of reading. And I've seen her demonstrate it. And she actually has a school that she teaches people her method, and that the school and the graduates are very successful in reading the tarot cards. But there's many different ways to read them. But it's interesting, her approach. But it does take a lot of time to learn the system. But I find that this book and this deck really go together for me, and it allows me to listen to my intuition as well as read the meaning, you know?
Let's see here. Yeah, Maria is, it's the Gilded Tarot. Oh, somebody else answered it. I see. One more thing. Oh, Alva, congratulations. She totally got the 12 months riddle. I just noticed.
Alva, nice job. Every month, yeah.
Okay. Jill said the movie Rambo popped in her head, and she hated that movie. That's sort of the point. It's like you realize that you would think it'd be your favorite movie or your favorite, but you know, if you think of a food, you know, it's going to be something like random or seemingly random, but it's not. You know, like I had Brussels sprouts pop in my head. Okay. All right, let me see if anybody's waiting in the call queue, you guys. Sorry if I missed you. And Kate said thank you. That was fun.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, so there is a Mandela effect. Did you notice the Mandela effect? I have become Death the Destroyer for us, but here in the now, Robert Oppenheimer says, now I am become Death the Destroyer of worlds. I have or I am become the Death the Destroyer. I can't be sure for that one myself. I do know that quote, but I don't know which way it goes. Are you familiar with that quote well enough to know if it changed a little bit, Gene? Yeah, me neither. Okay, let's see.
I do not, but I did happen to catch Moneybags on Rip and Rabbit, the Halloween special they had early in the month.
Mm-hmm.
That was, he was like just hammering. He had so many really interesting ones that I kept asking my husband because I didn't know the answers to them, but it was really very interesting. He had a lot of new ones and ones that were, you know, unexplainable, I guess.
I'll have to check that out. I totally missed that one, but I need to stay up on that. Let's see, Rita. Let's do a card for Rita. Hello, Shane and everyone. Just had a few minutes to check in. Was I supposed to have a card drawn? I believe you were, Rita. Let's see what comes up. Rita Woodward.
Is Rita the artist?
Let's see. Yep, Rita does art.
There's a Rita that posts things on Facebook, and she went to ECETI.
Yeah.
And she
Rita
had
Woodward. That's her.
And a husband.
Gary, yep.
Oh.
Yep, you got the right one.
Wow. She's tuned in, tapped in, and turned on for sure.
Yep.
Nice job.
So many great artists.
Rita, you're a big inspiration to me, for sure.
Me too.
I love your posts. They're so creative. Oh, Something just jumped out for Rita. Wow. This is a little risque. It's the Lovers. Isn't that beautiful? Can you see it? Is it focused?
Yep. Perfect.
That's beautiful, Rita.
Let's see what the
It's
book
number
says
6
about
in the Mater Arcana.
that one.
Sorry?
What was that card again? It was the
Lovers.
The Lovers. Is there a number for that one?
Number 6.
Okay.
The image of this card portrays far more than mere words could hope to convey. Simply speaking, it represents human love and relationships. Here we have the harmony of the combined polarities, male and female, the perfect union expressed through love. For me, the artwork of this card finally portrays the lovers in actuality. I think that our human condition naturally desires. In older versions of this card, the lovers often depicted 3 people and indicated choices with the possible reference to the temptation of a third party. Perhaps for this reason is often been a common area of misinterpretation. Yet with regard to choice, the area of love relationships is perhaps one of the biggest arenas in which we experience personal growth and challenges. We seek to harmonize self with another. As such, our relationships represent choices. Choices all the way through. This could be the choice of becoming involved in a new romance or choosing to make a commitment in an existing relationship, such as marriage, or in a solid relationship, making choices that will affect both partners. The Lovers is a positive card. Yeah.
Awesome. Rita says,
portrays-
wow. I'm sorry, continue.
Huh. Yeah. Let me read the description. The lovers are shown as an idealized version of romantic bliss. The perfect male and female forms are surrounded by water, symbolic of the world of our emotions. The potentiality of their sexual nature and blissful state in their togetherness are open and clear to see. From the heavens, they are touched by a golden aura of love that surrounds them. The colors of this card combine indigo and mauve, indicate I can't pronounce that word, indicative of the spiritual realm, and the fiery, passionate colors of red, orange, and gold. Wow. So tuned in, tapped in is for sure with Rita. And yeah, there is a golden shimmer coming down over top of both of these two together. So definitely she has a divine union. I do know that a little bit about, I mean, I don't know that for sure. I just know a little bit about that she went to East City with her husband in a camper. So you have to have some sort of a, I would think. But yeah, I think that Rita is with her soulmate. I think that they are like a yin and yang. They balance each other out and they complement each other, and that they are help each other to grow in a spiritual nature as well. It's with my husband, every day brings it something new that you can grow with. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, Rita. Thank you for being an example of what's possible, right?
Awesome. And yeah, really any kind of human interactions, right? It's like that's really our opportunities will arise with human interaction. Let's just put it that way. Right?
Opportunities to balance the polarity. You know,
Yeah.
polarity comes up with men and women all the time to teach us, to help us to, you know, practice compassion, you know, to love somebody regardless of their views and their opinions, and to respect their views and their opinions is really a daily choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I often say that, you know, if you picked me 10 years apart, I'd be arguing with all the versions. Well, except this current version would be understand why I was where I was, you know, but still I'd have versions of me that thought I lost it at this point, you know. They could look forward to the version of me now, you know what I mean? Just because I didn't understand, I hadn't had the experience that I have right now. So, and everybody's like that, you know. We've all got our unique, if you think of it like a combination lock, you know, we have this unique set of circumstances and situations and experiences that make us the unique, authentic individual we are. And that's really the beauty of it, the diversity of our experiences and how much stronger we are together when we can appreciate the diversity, not only in race and culture and religion and, you know, just across the board, you know, with experiences and everything. So. And it's really a beautiful thing. That's where we unite in our diversity rather than all trying to become the same exact thing, or you know, the Borg, if you will. We're all one single collective of one mind. That's, you know, I guess you would say like a hive mind sort of mentality rather than a collective of. Did you ever look into the Law of One, the social memory complex? Stuff. Okay, so that's like they're a group, but they're like in one accord, you know. So that's kind of how I imagine us going in that direction, where we don't really lose our individuality as we progress and move into these higher dimensions, but we're able to harmonize within our individuality, you know. Okay, let me see if. Okay, Rita says always working on balance, Gary and I. That's true. And that's really what we need with the whole, you know, we've been talking a while now that the divine feminine has been suppressed and we're needing this balance, right? I mean, that's where we need the compassion and nurturing side of humanity to be balanced out. Let's see. Did you say maybe Gary and I will finally get married? I thought you guys were married. You guys.
Oh, that wasn't her husband.
What's that?
That wasn't her husband that she went to ECETI with.
Well, she said maybe Gary and AI. Finally, and okay, and I'll finally get married. Okay. Okay, Printa is wanting a reading. Printa.
Brenta. Hi, Brenta.
Absolutely. Anything specific, or you want to just general card? We'll just pull a general card and.
Thank you, Brenta, for the opportunity to pull a card for you. I remember we pulled a card for you once before, and you're very sweet to offer again. A Knight of Pentacles just fell on the floor. I saw it, but I couldn't grab it fast enough. Wow. Knight of Pentacles. He's cool. This is usually a younger male, and I'm not sure how old you are, or it's not really relevant. I guess it may be just younger to you. And it seems like there is sometimes a knight is information or news coming in. Knight of Pentacles. A young man, if it's representing a young man, he would be steady, trustworthy, and Mr. Reliable. So if there's a young man in your life, I guess that's just picking up that. And if it's an event, everyone is always pleased to see this card, for it means that something that something one has been waiting for finally comes through. And this can relate to any area of life, whether work, money, or love. If you have any situation that you have methodically developed and patiently waited for, and as yet to have seen no results, you'll find them forthcoming at last.
Princess says,
That's
I am
beautiful.
old
That's really
female. LOL.
an older female, okay. So if there's a young man in your life, then he's steady and trustworthy
Oh,
and reliable.
that is my son, she says. Awesome.
Wow. Wow. Very, 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 it's a beautiful thing to be supported by a loving son like that. And if it's an event, it's what you've been waiting for finally comes through. But my intuition sort of had me thinking that whatever she wishes for the election, the outcome is going to be in her favor. I don't know, but that's just what I'm getting. Like, if she's, what else are we all hoping for and wishing for? We want our team to win, right? We want yeah, I don't know why that, whatever, or, obviously we all want liberty and justice to win. Doesn't matter who or what their name is. We just want we want the best for everybody, the best outcome.
Princess says, yeah, so she's confirming what you're saying. That's awesome. That is wonderful to have kids that support you. Oh, he's supposed to remodel her house, she says. That's awesome. Yeah, me and my brother did that for my dad.
Well, he's reliable and trustworthy. And I hear that if you ask, no offense, Shane, but if you ask a man to do a job for you, you have to let him do it the way that he knows how to do it. You can't tell him how to do it, even though it's your house, even though he's doing it for you. The way that if you say build a cabinet, but the cabinet's too short, you can't tell him it's too short. You just got to let him build the cabinet.
Get a shorter stack of plates, right?
It's beautiful, Printa. Beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome, Printa. Yeah, okay, she's been waiting since April. So yeah, that's not too bad. Maybe before the year's out, huh? Okay. Okay, Alva wants
it's
a
a good
card,
thing
I
to
believe.
do right now.
I'm sorry. What's a good thing to do? Oh, remodeling and stuff?
Remodel your
Yeah, it really is a good time to, spring cleaning and all that good stuff now. Let's see. Okay,
Who was it that needed a card?
let's do one for Alva. I would like a card, please, she says.
I think Alva is my neighbor. I'm in Maryland, and I think she's close by. Neighboring state, if I think it's the right Alva. She's the one with the amazing stories, right?
Yeah, I think, Alva, aren't you California or Arizona? I could be mixing up her and Maria. High vibing. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it is out west. I can't remember where. For some reason, I thought maybe she was my neighbor. All right, Alva, this is what came for you. It's the 7 of Cups.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
It's beautiful.
They have really cool cards. Seven of Cups symbolizes a situation where you feel many choices are possible. You may feel overwhelmed as your imagination runs away with you. The difficulty lies in actually making a decision. You need to look at the situation in a practical manner. View your choices realistically and decide which path to pursue. The imagination can present things unrealistically. So the danger here is that if nothing is done, you could find yourself empty handed. Therefore, exercise care, take practical, methodical, and sensible approach in making your choice. I think it's a pretty card, but I don't think it gives very much guidance. Let me see if I mean, it's just, anybody could say, just think it over carefully.
Right.
Let me see if there's anything else that is coming through here. I mean, there's beautiful metaphysical indications here. There's a white dove, there's a rainbow, there's sparkles, there's like a portal, there's fire, there's earth. I don't know what these little bubbles are, though. Let me see. Let me read the description. Seven cups sit among the clouds and skim the water, each containing an interesting treasure. They all appear tempting and beckon to be chosen. The fact that they sit amid water and clouds represents our subconscious desires or literally having one's head in the clouds.
I'm certainly guilty of that sometimes.
And like I said earlier in the show, that taking a step in any direction is good, even if it's the wrong direction, because you'll soon know. And I think it was Bashar that says, if you have a this or a that, like a right, go right or go left, and you're afraid to make a decision because you're afraid to make the wrong decision, and you go right, and then you decide to go right, and then you're disappointed that you actually made that decision, then you know that you really wanted to go left. But it's the fear of making a decision one way or the other. But it seems like there are many possibilities here for you, many choices, many opportunities, and they're all obtainable. But you don't want to be left empty handed. You want to make a move.
I like that. All right, let's see. We have two. I want to make sure I get everybody. Okay, Janice Ellis is in Maryland, she says.
Oh, hi, Janice.
Sykesville, Maryland.
Is it Janice or Janice?
Janice.
Pardon?
Janice Ellis. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, Prentice said, thank you for the reading. You're right on the money. And...
Aww.
Okay, so we have Jill and then Mama Bear. So let's do Jill first. Jill Slaybo, is that how you pronounce it? We'll go with Jill.
And Janice lives in what part of Maryland?
Sykesville, it says.
Oh, okay. She's north of me. I'm right on the Beltway, right near D.C. I'm about 15 minutes away from the White House. I tease my nieces and nephews.
Oh, wow.
I am. I'm right off the Beltway. But, it would probably take, maybe 40 minutes to get there if there was no traffic.
Right.
But if you flew like a bird, it's 15 miles,
Right.
So it's pretty close. You hear a lot of helicopters and stuff going over. So yeah, Sykesville is very nice. It's a beautiful part of Maryland. It's a little ways away from me, maybe almost an hour north, I think. But it's beautiful. So I'm actually pulling for Jill right now.
Okay.
And Jill, thank you. Thank everybody, but thank you for the opportunity. So I'm going to have to, but there's more than one card comes out. I don't want to, let me see what they are. All right, Jill, I'm going to read these cards that flew out because there are two, but they may be meaningful for you. One is the Two of Pentacles, and the other one is the Ten of Swords. So, the Two of Pentacles represents the effort needed to successfully maintain a balance in life. This can be trying to keep more than one project going simultaneously, a balance of home and work, or even juggling finances. Care is needed to maintain balance to ensure everything progresses smoothly and flows harmoniously. The signs are good that this can be attained, so that's good. That's a good one, Jill. This one is Ten of Swords. I'm not sure if it's so good, Jill. I mean, you know, they're all good because it's information, but Ten of Swords, I think, is a little, let's see. It's right. Actually, they're really close to each other in this book, too. That's weird. Oh my gosh, they're one page apart. No lie. They are one. That's really freaking me out now. Okay. The Ten of Swords, I don't know if that means anything, but it's just freaking me out. The Ten of Swords can represent a feeling of loss due to the ending of a difficult situation. Yet within this, we are released and ready for a new beginning, for life moves in cycles. It can warn about ruined plans or matters that don't materialize as hoped, leaving us feeling disappointed. But take comfort in the fact that perhaps they were just not meant to be. If this card appears in the future position, blah, 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 it tells you it acts as a warning. The outcome is now dependent on the actions you take. I'm sorry. I said blah, blah, blah because it's giving you an example of a reading, but I'll just read it so that it makes more sense. If this card appears in a future position, that means like in the spread, it acts as a warning. The outcome is now dependent upon the actions you take to avert the situation. Action shapes destiny. So you had two of Pentacles, said you had a decision. Sorry. Balance in life. I think they are definitely related.
And then the fact that they're right next to each other in the book, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, the ending of a difficult situation, and then this one is trying to maintain balance. That's pretty interesting. So Jill, if you have any feedback or...
Prince is saying that Jill was having some trouble with her kid. So I'm waiting for Jill to chime back in. Yep, Alva is in California. So could that kind of relate over to a situation with a child, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah, the Ten of Swords is the ending of a difficult situation, and then the Two of Pentacles was balance in life. So, yeah.
So did they go
Maintain
together?
Balance,
like you find balance and then the situation will work out after you find balance? Do they go together like that? Or
It seems to me that the difficult situation that has ended may have been a situation with her, if somebody had suggested with her kids or in her life, a situation in her life that was difficult and that just ended, and now she's trying to find balance between living her authentic life and dealing with the situation, you know what I mean, or dealing with the aftermath of the situation. Or let's say, let's just say hypothetically, I think I did this one time before. um, let's say she, was going through a difficult situation like a divorce or something, and now she's trying to balance her, being single or taking care of her kids or working or, So I don't know that that's the situation, but I'm just saying that that's kind of the energy around it, that this is it definitely in the past and it's definitely ended. And it was a difficult situation. So she sort of has battle wounds and that she's trying to balance her life now, which is a very positive.
Yeah, Jill saying, wow, that's so cool because it's true. Having trouble with my child also. I'm really not surprised at that the two came up because I have lots of decisions to make. But the child, Jill's child, is a grown adult. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. All right, we want to get to. Did you have anything else for Jill?
No, that's it.
Okay, I didn't want to rush anything. We have Alva saying thanks so much. Thanks, bunches, she says. Okay, and then Mama Bear in Montana would like a card. Just a general card.
Okay. Sounds good. Hmm. Aw, this is one of my favorite cards. The Two of Cups.
Ooh, that's
The
pretty.
beautiful union. Yeah. Like soulmates. The indication of soulmates, the indication of um, best friends, indication of meeting somebody. Let me just read it. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here,
Right.
but it's a beautiful card. There is emotional happiness together with a sense of abundance and achievement. Oops, sorry. Guess what? I'm reading the wrong page.
Oops, it's okay.
The energy is because this one, it started out saying the energy of the ace. That's why I thought it was the next page, but it's just describing that the Ace of Cups, the energy of the ace has now manifested into reality, finding expression in the form of the Two of Cups. This beautiful card is always a welcome sight with regard to romantic relationships. When the Two of Cups appears, it shows growth in a relationship. Whatever stage you have reached together, it represents moving to the next level. For some, and with the indications of surrounding cards, this can represent commitment, engagement, marriage. Either way, it's an important union. With the Two of Cups, the relationship is surrounded by an atmosphere of harmony, balance, kindness, and silent understanding that words cannot express. Such is the delight of this bond that somehow life cannot be imagined without the other. You are deliciously intoxicated and the feeling is mutual. That's beautiful. Oh,
I love that.
I really like that. Mm-hmm. And it could be, it just any kind of a soulmate. It doesn't always have to be romantic, but like a soul partner, I guess. That's beautiful. So that was Mama Bear.
We'll see what Mama Bear has to
What's
say
for
about
her?
that, if it resonates or applies. Let's see. I saw somebody. Where did it go? Oh, Miranda. Yes, Miranda Anderson. We are going to pull a card for Miranda. See what comes up.
Cool. I love that name, Miranda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's one. Okay. So there was one that came out early, and then it didn't feel right, but I'll show it to you. But the one that came out is the Knight of Cups. And again, the Knight is a young male. And the one that came out early in the shuffling, but I wasn't really sure about it, is the Eight of Cups. So we'll see if that has some relation to the reading. I think it might.
All right.
So the Knight of Cups is a young man, and he would be romantic and idealistic, sort of like the water element. As an event, the energy this knight symbolizes is always felt on an emotional level. It represents offers being brought to you that would be accompanied by a high level of excitement. Due to the element he represents, Knight of Cups is one to look for in relation to romantic invitations or proposals of marriage. Oh, Miranda. For those in the arts, he often brings interesting work developments or offers. Interesting.
Interesting. That's Miranda.
So let me just read the other card that goes along with it, because it seems like there may be an offer of high level of excitement, or it could indicate a young male that is, excited about an offer. And then there's an Eight of Cups as well. Let's see if that relates to this. The word most associated with this card is abandonment. The Eight Cups are behind the figure, which represents the emotional investment given previously. Just as this card shows, you now turn your back on the situation and walk away from it. It no longer fulfills you. Therefore, it shows abandoning something through disappointment. It must be remembered that the action of walking away from the situation is a choice. Frequently, it represents something that has held you back for a long time due to the amount of emotional investment. You found it difficult to walk away and move on, even though inwardly you may have been aware for some time that you felt disillusioned. Finally, the new path is pursued. So maybe that's why this emotional night is something that you can really kind of get excited about and get a high level of excitement and that the I'm going to say a message. Oh, he represents offers being brought to you that will be accompanied by a high level of excitement. So maybe after that, choice that you made to walk away from a difficult situation, that you're now excited about this new offer, and it really does give you something to look forward to. It says the Knight of Cups is one to look for in relation to romantic invitations or proposals of marriage. Oh, I don't know if that has anything, Miranda, girlfriend. Seems like, I just, yeah, the Eight of Cups is what fell out first, and then the Knight of Cups is what I pulled sort of second. Yeah, and the Eight of Cups does say that it's the past, but that is what I'm kind of feeling is, that it's behind her, and it was a choice. And there's a lot to be excited about in life.
Miranda says
things to look forward to.
She says no relationship, so probably more arts and healing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
But let's take a step back to Mama Bear, because Mama Bear says single for 8.5 years, never had a real relationship, but I am so joyful with rediscovering myself, opening up to a possible union. And then says, please tell how my heart jumped with the card. Bless you, Jean.
How your heart jumped? When she's saying that, that I think it's her new discovery with her higher self, and that union, and that, because our soul, what do they call it? Or soulmates aren't always living. They can be our guides and our connection with our higher self. It could be somebody like that for Mama Bear. That's interesting.
But regardless, your higher self does know that connection. So if there is another person out there, then having a better connection with your higher self will lead to that connection with someone else, because then you're being guided by intuition rather than, So yeah, that's really cool.
I'm glad that her heart jumped when she saw the card. I think it's really powerful to be able to see these. And that's not something to shrug at. I think, thinking about it more, and maybe looking up the card online and seeing if Mama Bear can get any intuitive hits on her own. That's interesting that her heart jumped. I'm glad that she mentioned that. That's important information.
Okay, let me make sure I'm not missing anybody before we move on to... Oh yeah, I did. Unicorn of Justice. We don't want to forget about Unicorn of Justice would like a card.
All righty.
Looking at the little avatar, I believe it's a she. I think.
All right. Do you know, what's her name?
Unicorn of Justice?
Hara, she does QHHT
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
She's friends with Candace. She just did a really cool unicorn QHHT.
Oh.
It was really cool.
I got to check it out.
Yeah, she was talking to the collective.
Very nice.
It was interesting. Yeah. Learned a lot about unicorns. And it was very fairy-like and very loving and very... The person that was doing the interpreting was very specific and I don't know how to describe it. She was just the information was flowing through, so she was very articulate, and it was beautiful. The images that you got from listening to what she was saying was so beautiful. So Unicorn Justice, I got the Ace of Pentacles for you.
Very nice.
Let's see what it means. The Ace of Pentacles represents, oops, let me put it up, prosperity and material gain. The beginning of successful endeavors that bring good financial reward. So this would be an excellent card if you were looking to start a new business venture. Wow. It can signify documents that hold material importance, such as a company, accountants, education certificates or diplomas, marriage contracts, inheritance documents, such as wills, bank accounts, or house deeds. Sometimes it may represent important letters being received, although frequently it would be an official, be of an official or monetary nature. Together with the supporting cards, it may indicate a lump sum of money, gifts, or inheritance. Yoo-hoo! So it's an excellent card if you're looking to start a new business venture. It's just positive material gains, whether it be property, house deeds, wills, documents, banks, money, positive, prosperous business.
That's
and
awesome.
Unicorn, once you figure it out, give me a call. Let me know what it is.
Unicorn is a lady from South
I know the
Arkansas.
secret.
And she says, wow, that is spot on. That's awesome.
Wow.
That's so cool,
Good for
isn't it?
you.
Like just a complete stranger and, just wow. Unicorn says that is so awesome.
So I'm not sure if she's interested in QHHT or BQH, but if she wants to listen to that message as well from Hurrah, that could be the new business venture for her. I mean, she probably, if she doesn't already have one. But that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will do. Thank you so much, she says. That's awesome. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, Topaz Skye. Topaz Skye would love a reading. Let's pull a card, a general card.
All right. This is for Topaz. There's one. Did you see it? Can you see it come out? It just goes like that. And it's like, here I am. This is the one.
I love that.
It's so funny. I'm grateful for it. It was doing it the last time we were together, and I was very grateful because sometimes you just don't want to use your own thinking mind to choose it. So this one is the Eight of Pentacles for Topaz Skye. And yeah, if I remember correctly, I think we read this one once before. It was about studying and apprenticeship, but let's see if I'm right. The Eight of Pentacles is often referred to the apprenticeship card. It can signify learning a new skill or profession. As such, it frequently shows up when there's an offer of new employment or taking a new position. It can also show entrance to a learning establishment, such as university or college, or even part-time study. Quite often, the Eight of Pentacles indicates that the existing talents can be used to create a venture that will bring financial gains. This may be an interest, hobby, or additional ability that you are not currently using in its full potential. Wow. This could be a good time to look into vocational matters more closely. If you have always wanted to follow a different career path or advance your current one, then make some inquiries because the signs indicate the opportunity could be more accessible than you previously believed. Good for you. Wow, these are all really, really, really good. And Topaz Skye, give Unicorn a call because she's got it already. She's got the secret already.
Unicorn of Justice actually chimed in that my husband and I have been looking into starting a business together. I have a small online shop and am expanding. That's awesome. That's right on the button. And she's also considered QHHT.
We'll go on your shop.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, please do put a link or, tell people in the chat how to check out your online store. That'd be awesome. Topaz Skye says, I have absolutely no idea. I'm sorry. Go
ahead.
Topaz Skye says, I have absolutely no idea. I haven't. I can't remember the last thing you said to see what that applies to. I haven't. I'm actually.
The apprenticeship?
I actually don't want any more responsibility. Just, their plate is so full. So how could that apply to a full plate? I mean, it sounds like if you've got a full plate, another option might clear your plate too, right? I mean,
she's not using a skill that she may be relying on other things. And remember it said something about you may not have developed the skill that she didn't know that she hasn't fully developed.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just, that it may be, quite often the Eight of Pentacles indicates that the existing talents can be used to create a venture that will bring financial gains. This may be an interest, hobby, or additional ability that you're not currently using to its full potential. So
that makes sense, though.
Let's just
so.
Pardon?
I said that makes sense. You might be in one business and you might have some things you know how to do, but you're not incorporating it. But if you were to incorporate it, it could completely change your business. Maybe you're making more money and clear off your plate a little bit more. Just, I guess, I don't know, take away the limitations and how you're thinking about things, because you might be able to use something you're not using and it completely change the dynamics of, what your work life is or career life is like right now, One little thing can shift so much, right, Jean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Almost the words that are coming to mind are work smarter, not harder. Like, you may be able to take on 3 shifts and have 3 jobs, and then you go home and you just play with Play-Doh or clay or maybe you arrange flowers when you get home or something. Like, maybe the thing that makes you relax when you get at home is the thing that you love to do, and that will eventually, become your business. Instead of work smarter, not harder. That's what came to mind. I hope that helps.
Topaz Skye is saying, I am Reiki level 2, but I am more interested in getting my singing voice back. And that's the perfect example. You might be able to do some type of singing, healing music or something where you're incorporating both things and you haven't quite combined your 2 gifts together to create something brand new, right?
Wow.
Yeah, a temporary job that's going to end soon. I don't know, just think outside the box. Anytime something like that happens, I like to meditate and just kind of see what your guides give you, what kind of picture they put in your mind instead of, if you don't really know, what you want to do, allow to see yourself doing what you love to do in the situation that would work to your highest potential. Because a lot of times not knowing is a good thing, like we were talking earlier, doing a reading for someone you don't know. If you don't know then you don't have any expectations that you're trying to meet. Like Bashar says, a lot of times we'll get locked into our expectations about something, and it actually hampers our manifesting, because if it doesn't look exactly like our expectations are, then we completely miss it. So it's like you want to resonate with the feeling of what you're wanting, but let go of the details of exactly what it might look like, because how many times has something been greater than you imagined it would be once it came, And if it was limited to your imagination, you would have limited the outcome or the manifestation of it. So our own limitations really hold us back a lot of times, I think,
Sure, for sure. And I like the idea of combining the Reiki with the singing and having it be healing. There's a woman, her first name is Chloe, I can't remember. Chloe something. Shoot, I can't remember her name. But she does the healing with her voice as well. And it's like a whole instructional tape. And that's what I thought of when you said that she does Reiki and singing, or even like light language, or it doesn't even have to be light language, but it can just be like toning or something.
Yeah.
That, if she has that harmonic vibration in her voice, she could definitely initiate healing that way too.
Absolutely. And that can be powerful too.
My Reiki teacher actually sung the Reiki symbols, like, Shoko, right? But he had such a deep harmonic voice and really resonated. And he put his hand on my knee and he was singing the symbols. And I was like, man, I felt that through my whole body. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
If that's what she loves to do, sure. Yeah.
And a lot of times when you have that drive like that, you might have some like codes in your voice that you don't even know you have, a hidden gift within your voice that will help unlock things for people on an energetic level or a higher dimensional level that you're unaware of. Light language.
Shane?
Yeah, actually I do.
No.
Sing, I do light language, not publicly or anything, but yeah.
You do light language too, Shane?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow. And have you been doing it for a long time?
Since my well, I stopped for a while, but yeah, I started in Pentecostal church. Of course, it was under the guise of speaking in tongues, but I think it's the same thing. It's just sort of framed in a religious context, But I really feel like it's in the same neighborhood, Just sort of filtering.
Do you feel like it's you that's saying it, or do you feel like it's a translation coming through you?
No, it's definitely coming through me rather than, yeah.
Because it doesn't go through your brain, you're not thinking about it, it just comes out.
No, I can be completely thinking about something else, and yeah.
Wow.
A lot of the times in my intercessory prayer as a teenager, I go during the week and spend hours doing that, and I had no idea, but I was getting in this deep trance-like meditative state, speaking in tongues, and had no idea that, it was what I thought I was there doing, I wasn't there doing, but I was doing something equally as good, you know what I mean? So many of the things I've done were on accident, but, it made me who I am today, so to speak, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Really neat.
Wow, that's interesting.
Let's see.
And is your light language more spoken or more sung? Like, do you sing it or do you speak it?
It's spoken.
Interesting.
I could probably sing it, maybe. I don't know. Never really thought of that. It'd be interesting. Maybe start the recorder and see what happens. Do I have what?
Pardon? Are hand gestures spontaneous?
No, I don't do the hand gestures, but I've seen people who do that. Yeah. Not for me though. It's but I've seen it's a real art, you know what I mean? The channeled movements like that. I love that.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. And did you Debbie Hazelton had a video out recently. I think she's the one who reads the Akashic Records?
Oh,
in
no,
the
that's,
galactic?
that'd be Solaris.
Solaris,
All
okay.
right.
Yeah.
Love you, Debbie Hazelton.
Yeah,
though.
she did.
We love her too. But yeah, the galactic historian, Debbie Solaris. Yeah, I saw a video she put out recently. What did you send me that link? I think you sent me that link, didn't you, Gene? Because I got the
Did I send
notification,
it to you?
forgot to watch it, and then you sent it to me. Or if it wasn't somebody that. Sorry, people send me stuff all the time.
That's okay. Yeah, no, I believe me. There's uh, spaces of time that just a lot of things really resonate with me, and I can't even, take in the information fast enough. And then it goes so dry for like 3 months, and I'm like, oh, I'm bored of this. Is, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, all these things start happening. So, yeah.
Have you noticed the trends too? Like, maybe you'll get a certain feeling or, I don't know, something in your meditative time, and then you'll see it through other people, like, like Lori Ladd, or there's any number of people that, you'll get confirmations from what you sort of receive through other people, and you're like, wow, it's so weird that this is coming through the collective from so many different sources that, aren't, it's not like they're conspiring to put this information out. It's like you're tapping in and we're getting it from the divine, if you will, the same types of messages.
Yeah. Yes. Feeling like it's something that I really needed to hear at that moment.
Yeah.
And it's like an evolution of education for me. Like Dolores Cannon says, you have to spoon feed. Because if somebody tried to tell me all of this, a year ago, I would not be able to, take it all in or understand it all. So these things come in little bits and pieces, and then I can kind of feel myself evolve, or my knowledge kind of like shifts my whole perspective, and then you're like, oh, and it's just it's just a wealth. It's amazing to gain that knowledge, and it gives you perspective, and it enables you to live life with compassion and understanding, and a little more confidence, a little more ability to go through life without letting things affect you. Instead of being affected by other things,
Reacting all
you
the
are
time.
more stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the big things is that, you kind of go through this phase where you're all about, seeking out the truth, collecting information, finding, all that you can, and answering all the questions and going through all the rabbit holes. But then at some point you can realize that your team already has the answers you need whenever you need it. And, I use that example of driving on the highway at night with the headlights in front of you. And you really only need to see just in front of you to safely move down the highway. You don't need to have the whole highway lit up. So I'm really appreciative now that I've grown as much as I have now that I didn't get bombarded with so much information. I'm thankful for being spoon-fed and given what I need at the time I need it, rather than everything, because you'd be totally overwhelmed,
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see if we got time. Does
Yeah,
anybody... If I missed you guys, please type again. I think we got everybody, but let's see. Janice wants Jean to, I think she meant Jean, to email me. Let me see.
Is she on Facebook? I'd rather do, yeah, you can give her my email too. Or if she wants, she can use my my name on Facebook.
What is the best way for
Messenger.
people, if people want to get a hold of you, Gene? Through Facebook? Just find you on there under...
Yeah. But if they're not on Facebook, you can give them my email. But I just, we don't want to broadcast it here today.
Right.
They would have to contact you. So, but on Facebook, my name is Jean Alabri, Alabri. So they can reach me on my Facebook page. And yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all of my favorite co-hosts of yours, like hello to Michelle. I want to say hello to Eileen. I want to say hello to Sherry. I wanted to say oh geez, who am I thinking of? I can see your face. How good can it get?
Oh,
Cynthia Sue
Sue
Larson.
Larson.
I wanted to say, if you are not watching this, Cynthia, I just want to let you know that you have helped me in my life, and I really all of the co-hosts that I mentioned, and a lot of the people that you've had on have really made a difference in my life, and it's amazing how in sync I am with a lot of the people that you have on and interviews and things like that. It's really been wonderful for me, and having this opportunity to practice my cards is really very, very. I'm just really touched. I'm really very grateful, and I hope that I can help people. And it really is exciting when I get the feedback. Either way, if you say no, it's not right, then I'll know. I'll just know that maybe I'm thinking too much or something. Either way, the feedback is just great.
It's fun too.
Yeah, yeah. But I really value all of your co-hosts, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Especially, remember way back when you and Sherry used to do those ghost things? I downloaded the ghost app too. I haven't gotten anything yet. But I mean, that kind of stuff is just so much fun. You know what I mean? Especially now around Halloween, it's just fun to, I don't know, talk about and experiences. And I know Eileen had a lot of fun ghost stories too. And I had one or two of my own, and it's just fun.
I tell you what, one of my favorite orb videos is that one that we showed of yours, that blue orb picture. It was so beautiful and blue and bright, and it was so clear too, and it almost seemed to be reacting with the music. But I always think of that one. Some of my favorite orb pictures. That's definitely right there in my top 5. I always think of that one because of how beautiful that blue color is. How vivid it was. It
was amazing that it was captured on film. I think it was because of the lighting in the room, and how it came like right in front of the camera, and oh my gosh, it was
amazing.
Yeah, and there's no way you could, I don't know if you could do that on Photoshop or something. I don't think you can, but it was an older.
You could do it in After Effects, but I know that you have to go to school. Like, why would you fake something like that?
Yeah. It's amazing, and the veils are thinning, and these things are happening, and they're being caught on camera. I see videos on Facebook sometimes. People actually caught a video of a fairy in a bush, and they could see it with their naked eye, and they were filming it. Wow. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was like this little light thing that was like flying around. And I'm like, that's crazy that she saw it with her eyes.
Right.
I thought he disappeared if you look like Santa, he disappears if you wake up.
Right. That's how a lot of the orbs I see are, I'll see it moving and I look and it goes away, and it always makes me wonder if your eyes, because you have your rods and cones in your eyes, and in the dark you can see out of your peripheral vision better than straight ahead. So I always wonder if maybe your eyes are just more sensitive and it picks it up, but when you're looking right at it, they aren't sensitive enough to see it, because I've seen some really bright orbs that disappear when you look, but you can tell they're there moving around.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. The little sparks out of the corner of your eye, and what I've also been experiencing that I wanted to tell you and Michelle and everybody, that the vibrating before you fall asleep, as you're drifting off, and you could feel that. I was like, what the heck? And then I'm like, oh, it's just nothing. And then I started drifting off again, and I'm like, what the heck? You like start really I could feel it.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is that? Do you know?
I think you're about to go into sleep paralysis if you can just sit still and relax and get through the intensity of, because it feels, some people feel like, you know, they'll hear their self breathing because they're sort of coming out of body and it'll sound like someone's breathing behind them. And you can there's so many things can be misinterpreted, because you're leaving your body and you hear yourself breathing and you see things different. And so I don't know. I think, it's made like that. It's sort of, they're the gatekeepers, there's always that layer of fear you have to go through before you can sort of get over into that, because if you're creating within your dreams, you want to have some kind of mechanism in place so that you're not there creating something to scare the lights out all the time. So I think it's just there to sort of give you that test to pass, once you get beyond it, that's when you can go explore. So I don't know. Once I knew what it was, I haven't had it happen to me. As soon as I feel it coming on, I'll either relax too much and fall asleep, or get too excited and make it stop. So it's hard to find that balance where you stay alert, but you stay still. But yeah, they say if you can sit still for 15 minutes but stay awake, your body will automatically try to make you scratch your arm or make something itch or whatever. And if you can fight the urge to move, then you'll go into that state where you can go out of body. But it's difficult.
It is. Yeah. When I fall asleep, sometimes, I mean, obviously my mind will fall asleep before my body. I don't know. Maybe that vibration is you leaving your body while it's sleeping, or the separation between, your body and your self
Right.
that leaves when you sleep.
Yeah. That's what I think it is. Because I'll have that. Have you, do you ever wake up and you're still vibrating a little bit? Like you just came out of that and you can still feel the vibration lingering a little bit?
Not yet. Not yet. Not like that. That was, it kind of like, I thought that there was something shaking the ground,
Mm-hmm. So, okay, was it a slower shake or was it the vibrating?
It was a vibrating.
Okay, because there's one, so there's like more of a buzzy vibrating, which is like when you're going out of body, but then there's another one that I have that doesn't seem to be related with going out of body, but it's almost like you've got a dog on the bed scratching itself or something, or it's a slower vibration, or maybe an earthquake is shaking the bed a little bit, it's a slower pulsating rather than like a buzzing, you know what I mean?
Mhm. No, it was more like a jackhammer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That kind of a to it,
Really intense.
And it kind of just, and then I thought, oh, that was weird, but it happened twice. So I'm like, okay, this means something. This has got to be something good. If it happened once, I probably wouldn't have mentioned it, but it just definitely happened twice. And yeah, because I think I was fighting going to sleep, and that's kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's just part of falling asleep. I don't know.
When it
But
happened,
it's interesting.
when it happened to me, it kind of freaked me out because the feeling it had was almost like when your arm falls asleep and you get pins and needles, but it was like throughout my whole body. So I thought my heart stopped beating. So the first time it happened to me, I thought my heart stopped beating, my whole body's falling asleep, like your arm's falling asleep. Of course, I'm half asleep when I'm like, trying to figure all this out, and I'm just trying to figure out why it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But because it was also in my head, I also got like the buzzy, like flickering in my, vision, and the sound in my, a roaring, sort of a vibrating in my hearing. It affected everything, all my senses. So it wasn't just the vibrating in the body. It does totally consume you after a while. I don't know if you've been that far with it, but it's either I fall asleep or you go out of body. But once I knew what it was and I got beyond that fear of it, I can't do it again. So
Yeah, it sounds like more of a sleep paralysis related to that a little bit more, because if all your body felt like pins and needles and you felt like your heart stopped, that would be your awareness. It was aware, but your body was not aware.
right,
You know,
it was like I was
your
detached from my body, so it was aware it didn't feel the heart or the breathing or anything anymore.
Right.
And it kind of panicked because of it. But it was really all okay. But I didn't know that because it was my first time. But the funny thing is the next day, I thought about that feeling. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the feeling I would get as a child having nightmares. This was the exact feeling I would go and tell my parents about, and they'd say, oh, you just had a nightmare. So it was this feeling, and then my brain would sort of add pictures to explain it. So the big buzzing would turn into this big machine or something that my imagination came up with, all these tubes and wires on it, right? So, but it was like a visual thing that my brain was just trying to make to explain what I was experiencing, throughout my senses or whatever. But yeah, it was always like sort of this machine with just nothing but it was almost like you're in a warehouse with all black around and just this machine with all these weird hoses and stuff on it, and that's what was causing the vibration that I was experiencing.
Wow. Interesting. Can I tell you a story about a dream I had when I was a child and see if you can, I know Michelle's really good at it, but maybe see what you can get intuitively. It was a nightmare, and it was a recurring nightmare. I was I was at my school, my elementary school, like 1st through 4th grade. And there was the playground out back, and there was asphalt with, paint on the playground. And then there was grassy area that had where you play soccer and stuff like that. So I was on the playground very close to where the grassy area was, and there was these little men with black hoods on, and the hoods were pointed up, sort of like a hoodie almost, but maybe a little bit more pointed, not very pointed, like a gnome or something, but just like a hoodie pointed. And so you could barely see their face, and they put toothpicks in my ears and told me not to move, not to scream, that they were here to, they needed me to stay still. They needed me to be there and not to scream. And it was just so terrifying that it just kept happening over and over. And I got these dreams when I was younger, and then as I got older, I kept having them. And so I've never figured out, but the toothpick was like a really, really sharp instrument stuck in my ear, but it prevented me from moving or from talking, because it's almost like having a knife at your throat or a gun at your head or something. But it felt so real to me. Like they came out of a dimension, out of the grass. Like it was like they were there, but nobody could see them that they were there. I couldn't scream. I just never get over it.
So you had it when you were young, and then they stopped and then came back later in life? Or you forgot about them for a while?
I remember. I think it was recurring over many years. So it would happen in a bunch, and then I would get them again in a bunch later,
And it was exactly the same every time?
It wasn't continuous. Pardon?
It was exactly the same every time, the dream? Pretty much?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if maybe in my dreams that they brought me back to that place, or maybe while I was in that place, they were watching me and manipulating me. It just seems so real.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand. They were pretty scary looking, and they were short. They were kind of small, but I was a small child, and they had that ability to put that in both of my ears and tell me not to move. That's really scary.
Ah, it sounds scary.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if anybody else might have an experience like that. Maybe they could chime in the comments below, because gosh, it seems like something that you might have and then tune it out too. So I can imagine like forgetting about something like that, and then maybe it jarring someone's memory even now. But yeah, that would be really scary. So how much of their face could you see under the hoods? Was it, I mean, could you tell if they were like gray alien looking beings, or were they humanoid, just shorter?
They seemed to be very darkened, but their eyes were kind of like I mean, if I had to guess, I would guess like a red, but like a glowing, some sort of a glowing eyes. Like you couldn't really see very much of their features, but you could see that their eyes were glowing. I had to, but I remember there was a dark hood and you couldn't really see who they were inside, but you could see that they had eyes that were shining out. Their eyes could have been like a white or a red, but I know their eyes were glowing.
Did they talk to you telepathically or verbally? Oh, it was like,
no, definitely telepathic. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked anyone about it, like a psychic or and a BQH or any other kind of?
I haven't. I don't know what made that come up. Probably because you were talking about when you were falling asleep and how afraid you were when you were waking up, and it just triggered kind of that memory for me, you know.
Yeah.
I love sleeping. You know, some people have difficulty sleeping. I don't. As long as I can just, if I put my head down, I can fall asleep. So
that's how I am. Like within a minute, I can be like, it amazes people. Like, how do you fall asleep? I'm like, I don't lay down until I'm ready to fall asleep. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm not going to make it to the bed. I'm like, oh gosh. But yeah, I'm always fighting it a little bit, I think.
I think we're busy. I think we're busy for those hours.
I do.
That's why we sleep a lot.
I even feel like sometimes we get called over on assignments during the day, because sometimes I'll just get hit with this unbelievable, it almost feels like you get drugged, that you take like a 20-minute nap and wake up like soaking wet sweat, and you're like, what the heck happened for 20 minutes? You know what I mean? Did I get a download? Did I get a clearing? Because it'd be like 20, 30 minutes, but it feels like an hour or two, you know, and it's like, what the heck happened? You know, it's like you were gone, you know. But if it wasn't for the sort of waking up sweaty, like I was like burning calories, you know, I probably wouldn't feel like I was doing something. But when you wake up sweaty like that, it's like, what was I just doing? You know what I mean? Was I fighting a battle or exercising or what? You know?
Yeah, there's the theory that this is a dream, and when we dream, that's reality. Twist your mind a little bit like a pretzel, like Dolores says, right?
Right. But really, that's all we know, you know? So, I mean, this could totally be dreams within dreams, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how often do we have like a dream and you wake up, you know it wasn't real, but you're still left with that lingering feeling, you know what I mean? Even with the knowledge of knowing it's not real. So, I don't know. I think, you know, people say this isn't real or it is real. It's real to us while we're here, but I think the danger, we're not in danger of annihilation or anything. We're here, we're going to, you know, there might be pain and things we suffer while we're here, but ultimately nothing's permanent except for the love and the experience we gain from it, you know. Everything else is sort of staged for the time being. But it's not to say it's all easy, because it's the only reality we know while we're here. So it's very real, very painful and all of that stuff, but it's not anything to fear. And I think getting beyond that fear is the main thing, because everybody just ultimately doesn't want to die, and you want to know if you're going to see your loved ones after they die. I mean, that's really what we mean by, is this real or is death final? You know what I mean? That's really the question we want to answer. This was a lot of fun. Let me see.
Is death final? Definitely. It's a birth. I think it should be like a birthday, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Should be a celebration that we made it back.
Right. Yeah, with my dad, we did that. Homegoing celebration.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think that's good because,
Wow.
you know, like with my dad, you know, he was dying with cancer, so we knew he was going to die. So it was easier to plan, you know, a celebration while he's still alive. But you don't always have that option, you know. But if you do, you know, it's a great way to honor the person while they're still around, you know. Even if you have to, if they're in hospice, you can just do it wherever they're at. And that's much better than a funeral because you're able to actually love on them and say your goodbyes then, you know. I really think we will
Yeah.
start handling things like that a little differently, you know. As soon as like our consciousness evolves, not only will we see that sort of stuff change, but you know, the education system, the political system. At this point, if we just change those things, they're just going to get corrupt people put back in there. So we have to like change it from the level of consciousness, I think. And I think that's what's happening right now. That's why so much is being revealed and people are seeing through all of the illusions and the lies for what they are right now. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think's happening on December 21st?
I don't have any expectations with it. I always put my energy into any kind of date there is, you know? Especially if it's a portal date like that, like, you know, that's the solstice. So, but yeah, as far as expectations, I don't know.
I've heard you say this before, and it makes a lot of sense to me, that the indication is that there's a solar flash. And you said, what if the flash to them is a flash, but to us, it's over years?
Right.
Because they see it, our time, there's no time here. So flash to them could be the solar energy coming to us or increasing over years. And you see that it increases and decreases, like people take pictures or whatever. But yeah, I really thought that that was an interesting perspective of the solar flash, and they're still talking about that on the 21st, that there's some sort of a solar event, some sort of a cosmic event, some sort of but we may not see it as a solar flash, but it will be, we'll look back on it and say, this is what happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah. Just like 2012, you know, it didn't seem like much happened then, but now we look back and you can see a lot shifted then, you know? I certainly didn't notice it back then, but I can look and say, wow, I mean, look, like the Mandela effect was huge for me, but so many little things like that. And I think if you look at the sun, just my experience of what the suns look like, if you were to speed up the last 2 decades, you know, it would look like a flash because it used to be yellow. Now it's like bright white, you know, and it's, if you could speed all that up, it would look like, certainly look like a flash. It would look like we're in the middle of it flashing right now, you know? With as bright as it is.
Wow.
But I think it's exciting times. So I don't really know as far as, you know, setting dates, but I think, you know, I always try to put my intention into, you know, every moment, but every day is a holiday, you know, that same kind of idea. And, but if something happens on that date, thumbs up, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean,
it's a surprise.
It's sort of like a portal or, you know, it is hard to pinpoint the dates and things like that, but yeah, I do like the portals and the 11/11 and the 8/8 and things like that. So maybe on the solstice, we'll see something change after that, you know?
Yeah.
It's just fascinating. It really is. And there have been interesting suggestions by a lot of psychics and mediums to get a quick reference guide to astrology, because it'll answer a lot of questions that are coming up over the next couple of years. That, you know, if you have like a basic knowledge of astrology, then it would be really helpful for you to understand about what's happening, what has happened, and what will be happening. But you don't have to be an expert or get a reading or anything, but just to get a general idea. So I thought that was interesting, because what's in the cosmos is going to be affecting us, you know, directly.
Absolutely.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. And I didn't see how any of that really applied, like just because I wasn't really even allowed to look at that as a Christian being raised. You know, that was always evil or whatever, looking at astrology and your sign and all that. But it makes total sense now. If, you know, as impressionable as you are as a baby, if you're born in the springtime and you're allowed to explore at those very first months of your life, you're going to be different than if you were cooped up all winter or outside when it's like, you know, it's just while your brain is developing at those very initial, you know, first days, you can see how it does affect, you know, if you're outside or stuck indoors or whatever. Northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. So you can really see all this. And then you insert the cosmic energies of where the planets were at all those times. When you realize everything's energetic, it totally makes sense. It's not woo-woo at all at that point, you know what I mean?
Science, yeah. Yeah.
So if Jean's able to do it, we want to do this at least once a month, you guys, on these Fridays where we get together. And even if you want to, if you know you want to do a reading live, you could reach out to one of us. If you can't find Jean on Facebook, if you're not on Facebook, you can email me directly and I can get you in touch with her. You can email me through uotf.net, the website, and under the contact page, or shanecrob@gmail.com. So thank you so much for being here, Jean. It's been real fun, and we'll figure out the Fridays that work best for you. And I don't know if I saw you that, but I told you, but I had this little picture in my head of this grid of me, you, and Cornelius, and Sarah talking. And I think what it was is the 4 weeks of the month. So I'd still like to do that meeting, but I think it was like, you know, different love streams and working with different people. So another instance of me misinterpreting it. But I still want to do the meeting, and I'll get with you on that in the meantime. Lots
Sounds
of love,
great.
you guys.
I'd be honored. Thank you all. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Shane. It was wonderful.
And once again, you guys, if you are on Facebook and you're joining late, you can find Jean under Jean Alabri. Can you spell that last name for people on Facebook?
I pronounce it Alabri.
Alabri.
And it's Alabri.
Okay, Alabri. I got you. Perfect. All right. Well, lots of love and light to you, Jean. Thanks so much for joining. You're looking great, by the way. It's so good to see you after, what has it been like? What was it? It was January of 19, wasn't it? Or right around the beginning of 19 when you were on with me and Sherry? Right?
Yes.
Wow. Time sure has flown, hasn't it?
I know it has. It has. But thank you for all you do, Shane. And thank you, everybody in the chat, for all your support. I appreciate you. Take care.
Love
I don't
you
know how to
guys.
hang up, so.
All right. We'll see you in the next one, you guys. Peace. Be sure to check out the website at uotf.net. There you will find the live stream schedule displayed in your local time right there on the front page. Below that, you'll find links to take the Beyond Quantum Healing course at a discounted rate, purchase our book, Mandela Effect, Friend or Foe, in paperback or ebook, or to contact me to schedule a BQH session. At the top of the site, you'll find links to help support the work I do, access the free private forum where you can discuss organizing get-togethers in your area, Mandela effects, and more. Thank you all so much for being here.